Hello! Welcome back to my channel if you've seen my vlogs before, and welcome if you're new here. If you are new, click the subscribe button down below, and that way you'll get notifications when I post a new video. Today's video is about mental health while abroad. And just before I start actually talking about this video, I cannot speak for anyone else's mental health. I can only speak for my own. So please, if you're watching this, put what I say into your own context and go from there. But let me get started. So if you've seen my videos before, I do quite a bit of study abroads. These past year and a half, maybe 2 years, I've done two 1 month study abroads. I was in Thailand for 2 months, and now I'm here, which is a lot of traveling for a full-time student. And so on top of that, I also have full-time student responsibilities. And since they are all study abroads, I do go to class full-time. Not necessarily for right now while I'm in Japan, because it is a regular semester, but all my other ones, it's been Monday through Friday, 3 hours a day. It was a lot, and it's a lot of stress. And kind of going to talk about how I deal with my own mental health while in these programs, and how I've learned to combat it and kind of work through it. So to begin, I'm going to talk about the funk. The funk is probably my worst enemy, especially while studying abroad. At home in Boston, I do have a therapist. If you're watching this, I miss you dearly. Yeah, best therapist I've ever had, and the only therapist I've ever had. But anyway, you don't get those services when you're doing short-term study abroads, and I'm going to go more into that at the end of this vlog, I believe. And so when I study abroad, I tend to get really depressed because I'm kind of depressed all the time. But I get worse depression when I'm in these programs because I'm in another country. I don't want to be sad. And that was kind of my biggest downfall before I started therapy and could talk about this and work through it. I would sit and I would be sad, because depression, but then I would put so much more pressure on myself to not be depressed and I started ignoring what my mind wanted and what my body needed, just solely because I was in these countries and I felt like I needed to do something all the time, every day, and that's just not true. You don't need to do that. I would fall into really, really deep depressions halfway across the country, or across the world, and I wouldn't know how to get out of it. And honestly, it ruined some of my programs and some of my trips and some of the relationships I made with these people. But I'm better now, kind of. I have ways that I get through this now. And my first point in this vlog is that it is okay. You can't change the fact that you are depressed or you're anxious. You can't change that. And with that being said, you can't ignore it either. Just because you're in a foreign country doesn't mean that you have to be happy. It doesn't mean that all of the problems that you have at home don't come with you. It's like a carry-on baggage, man. It's carry-on baggage you can't ever leave behind. So with that being said, it's okay. And I really worked really, really hard to gain my limit and my boundaries, and I'm gonna share those with you, so hopefully they help you out and you aren't going into it blind like I did. And I guess the most important part of this whole vlog is just understanding that it is totally okay and normal to be depressed and anxious and still be going through the same struggles that you go through at home in another country. If anything, it's heightened and intensified because you're in another country and you're not comfortable and you don't have friends. But you will make friends, I promise. But you don't have the friends that you have at home, and you don't have your family, and you don't have so many things that you find comforting anymore. But to go around that, you make friends and you get things that you find comforting. And I'll talk more about this. Going off that, actually, some of the ways I kind of combat these feelings and kind of alleviating some of my like stresses and pressures when it comes to this is I bring some things that are comforting from home. Whether it's like my crafts, I really like to craft. I like to have something to kind of take my mind off of whatever thoughts I'm having. So I knit a lot, and so I always have my podcasts because they're here. I really like the My Favorite Murder podcast. I'll link them down below if you haven't heard about them. If you haven't, definitely listen to them because it's really funny. Anyway, but I always have my knitting with me, and that kind of just helps me take my mind off of things. And I always have my laptop, and so that way I can watch TV and kind of escape what I'm feeling. And since I was coming here for so long, I did pack a few more things that just made me feel a little bit more comfortable. And like, I don't overpack. Okay, I did overpack for Japan. I'm not proud of it. It's fine. But I really needed to focus on things that I needed to kind of help my mental health and kind of keep me comfortable while away for so long. Another thing I do is, going back to boundaries, is I really had to work on knowing that it was okay to not always be going. Like, I really had to learn to say no, because like, I don't need to go to dinner every night with a group of people, and quite frankly, I'm not comfortable in that situation anyway. So just because I'm in Thailand doesn't mean I'm gonna be comfortable in that situation. So it really took a lot of like learning for me to be like, I'm not comfortable in that situation. I'm kind of feeling down today. I'm just gonna go to dinner with someone, like 1 or 2 people, and feel a lot more comfortable and a lot more loved and respected. You know, just like by myself. Like, I'm loving and respecting myself for making that decision. And that is so important. It's so important for everyone to do, is love and respect yourself. And honestly, if people get upset that you say no, honestly, screw them. Because they aren't loving and respecting you when you need to do these things. Another thing is that it is fine to like lay in your bed for half a day and watch TV. If you're feeling emotionally tired and drained, like I feel all the time, it is totally fine to be like, you know what? I'm not gonna go spend money and really just not enjoy myself when I could sit in my bed and recharge and feel so much better afterwards by just watching a movie. Like, or if you don't want to be alone, just get your closest friend and watch a movie in your room just by yourself, you know? That is the most important thing I know. And it's so helpful. And for me, another thing is that I really have to, going off of that, I really have to be careful that I'm not getting too much alone time and I'm isolating myself, because that'll happen. And in these programs, normally I have a single room, which I'm not accustomed to because at school I have a roommate. Shout out to Sophie. But I'm not accustomed to being in a single. But because I am in a single, it's nice because I can go away and get actual genuine alone time, but I can also fall into a hole of alienating myself. And that's not good for me either. And that, I will admit, is something I'm still working on. But I get that alone time. So, and that's really important for me to feel better and happier and a more productive human being. Yeah. Something else is communicating. Communicating is, for me, and I'm assuming a lot of you guys, if you're watching this and you're like really scared to study abroad because you have depression or you have anxiety, I get it, it's scary. But one of the most important things is being able to communicate. I have a terrible time communicating through my cell phone. I don't do it. I can't do it. It is so hard for me. So what I do is after a few days, if I have one friend that seems like really trustworthy and really helpful, I will tell them, if I'm feeling sad, I may need to talk to you. And I will ask them if that's okay. And that makes me feel more comfortable. If I'm in like a really like bad spot, it makes me feel more comfortable going down and being like, hey, this is what's going on. I just need a friend. And it makes them feel more comfortable so they aren't necessarily thrown off guard when all of a sudden you show up sobbing at their door. You know, it's a win-win situation. It's just being upfront and honest with somebody that you trust and that you kind of know. I mean, you're meeting these people for the first time. But it is important that you have somebody to talk to if you need somebody to talk to. Some people don't talk to anybody. Another thing is choosing a study abroad program, especially if you're going away for a semester or a year, that has a therapy, a counseling center, and they have it in English if you're going to a country where English isn't the first language. Ritsumeikan has a therapy program, and I'm going to be hitting that up as soon as it opens. You can bet my best dollar. Is that the right saying? Anyway. So that's also very important, is making sure you have the help and the support, like professional support, that you need abroad. Most short-term winter and summer study abroads don't have that, but if you do need that long-term and you're going away for a semester, definitely you need it. You do need it. And most importantly, don't be scared of study abroad. Don't do it. Just because you have this unwanted, unnecessary sadness in your life, or not sadness, but just don't be scared of it, because you can get through it. I promise you. Study abroad, if you take care of yourself and you give yourself what you need, it will be one of the best experiences of your life. Trust me, I've done a lot of them. But it's important that you know how to deal with yourself and give yourself what you need. And I really hope this video helped you. If you need anything else, if you really like this video and you want to see more videos like this, comment it down below. Stay tuned. I'm going to try and post more videos twice a week. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And I will see you in my next vlog. Bye!